Welcome to Healings and Meditations with Frank Jordan and the Earth Mind Think Tank Group. We welcome all listeners and chatters. Any questions can be called in to 1-775-657-5973. 1-775-657-5973. If you're in the chat room on Wolf Spirit Radio, which is wolfspiritradio.com/wolf chat, please post questions in uppercase letters, in capital letters. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. Well, here we are in late May again, middle May, and moving along in the spring procedures of nature, and it's beautiful in the Pacific Northwest as it is all over the world. The flowers are emerging and blooming. It's an incredible place to be at this time of year. And in looking at the earthquakes around the world, the first thing I notice is there's quite a blossom of mid-range activity. And so we want to really put a lot of concentration this morning in clearing and lifting those energies and settling the world down again. Of course, we just went through the full moon, and that has a big influence in releasing energies too. So we may work with the moon energies today in stabilizing the earth activities. Also, there's a couple of potential Class M solar flares that could come in tomorrow. They're building up, they haven't released yet, and so we will work on shielding the earth, as we always do, with the earthquake energy that is released in our golden shield. Initially here, I want to walk you through the procedure into accessing the subconscious mind, and with the realization that many of you, when you without going through the habitual steps, you try to shortcut. You try to go directly from your conscious mind into the expanded consciousness, and it does not work well when you do that, because you may feel like you're in an altered state, but until you step all the way back and feel that great expanded state with your mind shut off, the conscious mind running, you have awareness, but you're really not thinking anything unless you instigate it with a deeper inner consciousness mind. And that's where you have the most power and ability to not only communicate through the psychic center and through the various grids of consciousness, but this is where the power is back in that subtle energy realm. So I'm going to walk you through more slowly today to make sure that everyone listening learns how to do that. That's where the power is. Otherwise, it just becomes a mental exercise. That's why things don't happen, particularly when you're doing your own clearing work. The clearing is critical also, of taking the time, going into that step-back state where you're fully expanded, fully consciousness, and then moving down through each chakra level, clearing each quadrant of the chakras, and then unifying everything and down into earth, mind, and up into oversoul. That's where your creative potential, it can manifest, because you're working right directly in the subtle energy field, in the mind of God, so to speak. So let's do that now. Let's walk through the procedure and do it carefully and slowly so that any new ones out there can quickly learn the process. And any of you old timers will vow to take time to do the process occasionally, so that when you do your opening up, you don't just step back and think you're there. That you have to have that feeling of completeness and fullness and expansion. All right, take your awareness up into your forehead. Body totally relaxed, so you're not touching anything. Feet and hands open. Now you're in the conscious reasoning zone in the front lobes of the brain. And this is area that the subconscious mind delivers information to, so that you can process it and act in a linear, rational manner. And just let that go. Just step back, taking your point of attention back into the soul center. And the soul center is in that location so that it can gather information from all the other levels of consciousness and deliver information directly into your intuitive centers in the brain. So now just reach out laterally through the soul center, thinking of all the other souls that are listening to this call. And just in that level, allow yourself to expand and touch in and feel the oneness. The oneness where the power is. The wholeness. This is the holistic aspect of our being, is in the will center. Now step back a step further into the psychic center. And you feel a different expansion. Now this is more, the frequencies are more tight. And when you think about someone, you come into instant resonance with them and can pick up information or give information. And we can also use this in the group mind consciousness, and when we are effecting changes. Now feel that awareness of just, see how the frontal lobes are shutting off. Your whole attention is deep in the middle of your head now. And the expanded awareness of the psychic center. Now take a step back deeper. And I like to akin this to standing on the edge of a cliff and stepping off, or standing with your back to the edge of the cliff and stepping off backwards. Just letting go of all the foundation, the firmament of what we know, and stepping out into that incredible space of everything. Now you'll know you're there when the conscious mind is shut off, the psychic centers are not contacting anything directly, because you haven't asked for anything. You're just back in the state of open awareness. And it's in this state where you can do the most objective clearing of your chakras. So take a moment there. And from that space, feel your head, your brain, and just feel any clutter that's there. Take your awareness to the right quadrant of the brain and create a torus outside of your head in your aura. A torus spinning clockwise away from you. And with your point of attention on the right side of your brain, just flow anything you feel away there. Flow it out. Clear it out. And you feel a release. All this is energy, clutter. It doesn't have to be there. Now bring your attention back to the center and focus out the left side of your head. Create a torus and clear the female aspect. Now come back to center, turn within yourself, and look to the back, to the past, and anything you feel coming in, clamoring for your attention, simply release it as you move backward in time, clearing the head chakras, clearing the clutter. Now bring your awareness back to center and turn and look to the future, into that morass of energy that's resonating from us constantly into the future, creating all manner of potential reality. So clear to the front, clearing the potential realities of clutter, negativity coming from the past. Now, as you do this, as you find that clarity in your mind, now take your awareness down into the throat chakra and on down into the other chakras. We won't take time to clear them now. But notice how much more acutely you can feel clutter. Anything you can feel in your body at this time, push it out. We can do the fast clearing by being in your heart center and visualizing the right hemisphere, the right side of your body as being a hemisphere, a half of an orb of energy. And that orb is turning clockwise from your perspective inside. And it's bringing energy into you. Now, move your attention fully to the right side of your body and clear anything you can feel in your body out the right side into a torus, spinning it clockwise to take it out of your body. And you feel all the chakras release whatever they have stored that's just clutter. That's your intent at this time. Now come back to center and feel the left hemisphere of your body, of that orb that is this moment of now in the dimension of now. And feel again anything in the left side of your body. Just clear it out. The hemisphere, clearing it out, moving clockwise. Taking it out of your body through a torus. Until you feel that side of your body clear and you feel nothing. Now come back to center. What we're working with is the three orbs of the third dimensional reality that we exist in. Now we go to the orb of past and future with a line right down through the top of your head, through your shoulders, dividing the front half of your body from the left, from the back. Turn now and look to the back and feel the hemisphere of the past as it flows into you. You'll feel just a pressure of energy coming at you, standing waves of things that your system allows to enter your body, and that it allows virtually everything. So clear to the past, rotating clockwise. Any negative standing waves, breaking down the standing waves of the past. Anything that's not beneficial to you, that may be detrimental to your sense of identity and your evolution of We do this so those standing waves won't recreate into the future again through the 0 point. Now come back to the 0 point in the heart. This is the point we're working from. And feel the front hemisphere that's resonating out into your future realities. And realize that that path that you just cleared is already set in the future. So move your point of attention into the future. Rotate, clear, just break it down. Just break everything down in the future so that you create your reality and you're not subjective to all the negativity of the past. And just leave it open. Now take your awareness to the third hemisphere, the third dimension, to the third sphere rather, and the top half of that divides at your heart, and it's a lateral thing, up and down. So feel the top half of your body in this dimension, and rotate that, any energy field clockwise, taking it upward, the oversoul where it's cleared, adjusted, and so that oversoul can bring in pure and clear, higher intuitive consciousness and clarity into our systems so it can manage the system. Now turn and look from the 0 point to the bottom half of your body, that hemisphere there. Create a rotation to the clockwise, carrying down into earth mind any negativity, any portals that may have been opened into earth mind that could be negative to your reality. Clear that all down. Clearing negative Akashic resonances that are coming forward from the Akashic records. Asking to feel totally, absolutely clear in this moment of now. Now bring your awareness back to the 0 point in your heart, into this moment of now. The only thing you should be able to feel in your entire system and outside your system, because you just cleared your aura also, the only thing you feel is the pressure where you're sitting in your chair. This is clarity. This is where you have your power. Now you can take your point of attention into any one of the dimensions or realities or outer realities, and the information you tune into will come in through clearly and objectively. So this is a state of clarity you want to achieve in your meditations. Then in your meditations, you can create, manifest, or bring in information. That's what meditations are for, is this space-time reality of clarity, so that you can manifest and adjust and create your reality and that of others. So bring your awareness now back to the heart center. Drop your awareness down into earth mind. And you'll notice as you go into earth mind now, you don't feel those clutters and restrictions. So take your point of awareness down into the upper ranges of earth mind, in the crustal areas of the earth. And extend your awareness outward to Southern California and the earthquake grid there. And as you tune into the earthquake grid now, wherever you put your point of attention, that's what you will experience. Feel the earthquake stresses building up. And you'll feel it in the base of your spine as energy. Bring that energy up the spine, clearing potential earthquakes, taking the energy away from them. so that when they slip, it'll be naturally and not a big jolt. Bring that energy up the spine, and you feel it, your whole body now responding to those energies as they rise up in you through the 0 point, following our intent, through the crown chakra, through oversoul, out into the ionosphere surrounding the earth. Let those energies in Southern California flow up your spine, out into the golden grid, to strengthen and reinforce the golden grid around the earth, which is a protective shield of consciousness that we've created, with the realization that all things are created by consciousness, whether ours or by the natural forces that control reality. Now let the flow just continue up your spine. And we allow that to continue as we move our awareness upward along the San Andreas Fault System to San Diego. Now there's quite a bit of activity there now. And on up to Los Angeles. And following the fault line north to San Francisco, and on up to the Oregon line. As we hook into this grid, we feel it just, and our intent is to have this maintained so the energy is constantly releasing. When we do this properly, there are no mid-range earthquakes for the next week or two. Beautiful. You got a wonderful flow going this morning. Now move your awareness to the Sierra Nevada range, full length of California, all the way down to Los Angeles. Subduction zone energy. You'll notice this feels different from the lateral slip energy of the San Andreas Fault. Subduction energy seems heavier. Lift that heaviness upward. Now swing your awareness eastward to the southern end of the Rocky Mountain Range in Nevada. Up through Salt Lake area and up to the Yellowstone. There is adjustment energy occurring in the west edge of Yellowstone, west of the Old Faithful geyser. Lift that energy upward. And go to the cauldron. Lift and clear the cauldron. And we want to project this desire into the future of the cauldron. It's like creating a gigantic spiral of energy, spiraling upward out of the cauldron, releasing the forces building up there into the ionosphere. So they'll cannot build up into a negative explosion, expression. And now it's interesting to feel the relaxation in the lower part of your spine through your attunement to the cauldron as we release that buildup of energy. This is your body signal that you're doing it right. Now swing back westward to the northwest, the Cascade Range. Minor activity all the way through the Cascade and up into Puget Sound, all the way to Vancouver. Lift those energies. And move your awareness northward along that primary plate fault line into southern Alaska. And as always, there's a myriad of small to medium earthquakes going on there. So we create our spiraling funnel again, lifting that entire region. Like a gigantic cyclone, carrying energy upward from the Gulf of Alaska, all the way up through central Alaska. There is some activity in northern Alaska at this time, in the Brooks Range. Now take your awareness back down to the Aleutian chain. Ongoing scattered activity there, mostly minor. Lift those potentials upward. Now move westward to the Kamchatka Trench. Runs from Russia down to Japan, where it becomes the Japan Trench. There is some high mid-range activity at Ichihara. That's in the center of the big island of Japan. We lift that upward, and we use that, expand that out to the radioactive areas in the reactors, picking up the radioactivity that could be detrimental to the environment, carrying it upward, transmuting it as we spiral it upward into the golden grid, distributed around the world, transmuted into beneficial power, energy. Take your awareness down to Taiwan. And then further south to the Philippines. There's a 6.2 west-southwest of Alim, the Philippines. Lift that energy upward. And reach into the future to clear any further expressions of energy of that kind. And swing on down through the southern Philippines, down into Indonesia where there's only light activity today, some near Jakarta, 5.0. And moving awareness eastward to New Guinea, following those fault lines to the Solomon Islands. There's a 5.1 near Panguna. Move on eastward through Vanuatu to the Samoan Tonga Trench. Subduction energy there. Lift that upward. 2 points in New Zealand. One south of Auckland at Rotorua, and one at Picton, New Zealand. Lift those energies upward. And move westward across the Pacific to South America. Some major activity in northern Chile. Again, this is under the Andes Mountains subduction zone. Atacama, Chile, 5.5, and a 5.2 at Pampa, Argentina. Lift those energies upward. There's ongoing activity in Iquirque, which is just off the Peru-Chilean Trench. Move northward to Peru, at Payan, Peru. Then northward into Colombia, 4.6 at Puerto Gaitán, Colombia. Into Panama, Punta de Burica, 5 point. And now northward along the coastline of Guatemala, and a series of small earthquakes. Lift those upward all the way up through to Jalapa, Mexico. I move eastward to Santo Domingo, Dominican Republic. And there's a series of earthquakes repeating at Grand Anse, Guadalupe. Up to a 6 point on that one. I'll move eastward to the Mediterranean area. Only light activity, there's ongoing activity in Conospol, Albania. move eastward to Iran, Afghanistan, small minor activity there, and on through China, back across the Pacific to our point of beginning. We move into the central United States, near Perry, Oklahoma, and the surrounding area, where there's a series of 3-point and larger earthquakes. This is because of the fracking activity. So we want to lift those energies that are releasing, and with it, clear the pollutants that are being released in the crust of the earth in that region. And we can expand this activity on outward from Texas up through Malden, Missouri, now bring your awareness back to our point of beginning. Now bring your awareness back up your spine, and we're going to reach up, back out into the solar system again, reaching out to the moon, and the energy of the moon. Just feel yourself become the energy of the moon now, and feel the pull that it has, the gravitational pull on Earth that controls the tides and also controls the rise and fall of the crustal plates of the Earth mass around the center of the Earth, where the pull is the strongest. That crustal tide, the Earth crust actually rises and falls as much as 3 feet every day, and that movement causes disturbance in the fracture zones. We want to set up a system now to where that movement will automatically release the stress of the fracture zones, the earthquake zones, the fault lines, where the moon will automatically, through its gravitational pull energy from the crust of the Earth that would be released as earthquakes. And the moon becomes our co-creator in managing the effect of gravity on the Earth. And this energy, as it's released, is a continual stream of energy into our golden grid. No matter what position the moon is in as it circles the Earth, when the crustal forces arise, that energy release is pulled to the moon and directed into our golden grid. Actually, it's captured in our golden grid as the moon pulls it out in the ionosphere. So this will greatly strengthen the ionosphere. It'll also strengthen in the golden grid our capacity to work directly with Earth environment, the environmentals, and also with human consciousness. Now, as I see into the future, what I see appearing, gradually coalescing, coming into form now, is the etheric grids of the fourth dimension. The fourth dimension surrounds and permeates everything on Earth and the three dimensions. And the fourth dimension is one of time and space. When consciousness can work through the golden grid, consciousness of humans manifesting the future can work through the golden grid and the fourth dimension, and with the power of the moon, to shift the consciousness of everyone on Earth, lifting, empowering, raising everyone into higher awareness, releasing the domination that has been the primary controlling factor for thousands of years, neutralizing the domination force, lifting the consciousness into dominion, where the consciousness of mankind shall have dominion over the earth and all of the creatures that walk or crawl upon the earth, all the creatures of the sea and of all things that grow in the oceans and on the lands. And feel your hearts filled now with love of the land, love of the environment, love for all living things. Love is the empowerment of the galactic forces and of the consciousness of the God force itself. And we see ourselves moving seamlessly into the fourth dimensional reality without global financial collapse and subsequent stress that would bring upon the environment of the world. We see, as we adjust into dominion, we see the capacity to manage our Earth population and to work with the environment of the Earth to supply enough food, enough habitation for everyone on Earth, and with population naturally being controlled through self-awareness and control, we move into the fourth dimension and into all that is. And so it is. Bring your awareness back into yourselves now, back up into your own physical reality, and feel the power that you step out into the group mind consciousness with, the power and the right and the authority to inspire others to realize the shift that is upon them. And we feel our power being added to the morphogenic field of group mind consciousness that is creating the fourth dimension. And we see the fourth dimension in its beauty and power, strengthening, ensuring the progression of life through all its levels and cycles to the fullest experience for the God force consciousness. And so it is. Alright, bring your awareness back out now, through your forehead, back into your conscious awareness, and come up. We're back, Dave. Does anyone have any comments you'd like to make this morning?
I'm still floating in the fourth somewhere. I'm not back yet.
Oh, just hang out. That's a good place to be.
Frank, I wanted to mention about the fires going on in San Diego as well, if we could do a little cooling off for them.
Okay, yeah, I intended to do that. There's a low that's coming into the Pacific Northwest now, and let's just drop that down lower. It's just a loop in the jet stream, drop that down lower to pick up the moisture. And I saw in the news this morning that's actually already starting to happen, so we can empower that. It's interesting to note that the unusual weather patterns as we've been experiencing and supposedly abnormal things such as the droughts in one place and too much rain in another. And we look at it as being abnormal, but it is a part of the normal adjustments of the system. And as we continue to pull the normal system back in and reestablish it, we do that by releasing the stress from the systems, and that stress is primarily caused by human consciousness, and the Devic forces try to adjust for that disturbance with adjusting the weather patterns. And so as we grow and evolve and get stronger, more focused, the Earth will come back into normal cycles, and it will come back with global warming, but we'll do it slowly enough so we can adapt to the changes, because that is one of the normal cycles that's happening. Any other comments?
Just a favor, I added a phone call from 818. Could you remove it because they didn't want to be on?
Who?
818 area code.
I'll check into that. Okay. We'll do that. All right, looking towards tomorrow night, tomorrow evening. When I couldn't participate the other day, you all were discussing a wonderful flow of consciousness in understanding of what our indwelling souls are, and I'd like to see you continue that for the benefit of the Wolf Spirit Radio audience. It's very informative, and I was really impressed with the astuteness and how well informed you all were. We really appreciate your contributions and the furtherance of understanding of how things work. So that was a great show, guys. Do you notice how you're all kind of held out in space at this time? That's because I took the time to really drop you back into that deep state. And that deep state can be with you all the time as you're out here in the world. Only you can use your conscious minds that literally making choices and decisions from a higher source.
Yeah, I noticed. Excuse me. I noticed your meditation this morning was go deeper, like you're saying, and got me to another level there as far as meditation goes. Thank you, Frank.
Now that deep level is also the portal to other dimensional realities. If you want to explore that, you get back in that state. But the thing is, your mind has not been programmed to adjust and direct the intent for the subconscious mind to follow. So if you have awareness of something, then you can direct your intent to it and open up, and this is how you astral travel and do distant viewing and all of that stuff. If you have awareness of something, or something's triggered in your mind, put your point of attention on it in that deep state and become the observer. It can also be used for astral traveling in those regions, so you can view. And you just observe. I don't know what to say about warning you about participating with, or interacting with what you find there. Normally, it causes more disturbance in the ethers than what it benefits. So, by disturbance, I mean we would be like entities to these other dimensional realities and disturbing their consciousness and their realities.
Are you talking about astral traveling?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've heard that too, that you create more karma by doing that than if you just did nothing.
It's all right to be a tourist and observe, but don't get caught up in it.
Right.
Thinking you can make any changes, because it's not for you to do.
You're not as powerful as you might think at that point.
Yeah. What you bring back with you might not be so great too.
Right, this is Marilyn. What I experienced from our meditation today was the word dominion. Dominion is on the basis of where we're all coming from. And that word just made echo. It could be at any level of intensity. It could be gentle, but it just echoes and just vibrates and keeps going up. That was awesome. It still is. It just goes on, which is exactly what it is.
Okay, thank you. Well, Dave, it looks like we've about worn out our welcome this morning. Let someone else has comments.
I'm ready. And we'll see you folks again tomorrow evening at 6 o'clock Mountain Time.
Okay, Dave.
Don't forget to drop a donation in to Wolf Spirit to help them out, and myself also. I have a donate button there too. And this physical reality has its needs. So
you get access to all those wonderful videos. It's already a part of what is.
Exactly.
Incredible information there.
Well, we will rejoin in the Stellar Group then, as you let us go, Dave.
All
Thank
right,
you.
folks. We'll see y'all later.